Welcome back to Collaboration Conversations. I'm your host, Regina Partain Bergman, CEO of Bridgeport Strategy. And once again, I am delighted to have a guest co host today who has brought some amazing panelists that I can't wait to meet. And so we're going to get started right away here. Hang on one second. We've got just a little technical glitch going on over here on my side. Let me get rid of that. All right. Don't you just love it when those things happen? We are live, we are real, we are raw. You get what you get, folks. This is live. So when things happen, we just roll with the punches. My guest co-host today is Jessica Koch, and Jessica is a passionate speaker. She is a podcast host and a podcast guest, and she knows how to help you find your clients and your solutions. So, Jessica, welcome to the show. So glad you agreed to be our co host today.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for having me.
Awesome. Jessica, would you share with us, please, a bit about your journey getting to where you are now and who you serve and why that's important to you?
So my journey is a bit of a Jonah and the whale story. I did start out in sales and marketing in high school, but I won't take us that far back. So don't panic. But I did radio advertising sales. I worked in large hotel sales and really did a lot of work for some of the Fortune 1000 and government. And just learned that I love this. And then my heart was broken because things didn't go the way I thought they would. People don't always keep their commitment and promises, but I was grateful for what I learned and who I met. But then I thought that I was finished with sales forever. I actually went on a 3-year sabbatical where I didn't come into my office. I didn't touch email, social media. I was in hiding. and excuse me. And the only reason I came out was because I still did answer my phone, and a local chamber of commerce person kept calling me saying, we really need you to teach this LinkedIn class. And I just kept saying no. 7 times I said no. 7 times he called me back. And finally I said, okay, people matter most. I'm going to come, I'm going to teach, and I'm going to leave, right? That's it. And that wasn't what happened. Long story short, I ended up starting a business from that. And it was born despite my protesting. And now I really love it. I meet amazing people like you and all the faces that are here.
Awesome. Just curious, how long ago was that when you came back out of retirement?
Almost 9 years ago now.
Awesome.
And just evolving and loving it and growing. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And I've been hearing wonderful things about you from some of our mutual friends and acquaintances. So grateful for the work that you're doing in this business world, especially for entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Jessica, would you please introduce each of our guest panelists and have them tell a bit about their journey and who they serve and why?
All right, everybody out there, if you're live, get ready, hold on to your hats, grab your espresso, grab a cannoli, because this Italian girl is going to introduce you to some amazing people here. I have got Ragini. She is an international trainer and NLP and mentor for women working for conscious leadership and conscious living. Welcome, Ragini. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about you?
Sure. I've been in business for over 4 decades. I had a private practice in NLP for a long time before coaching was around as a name. We did a lot of coaching under the guise of NLP. Sorry about my voice. It's going today. I got in this field primarily because I was a pretty unhappy Enneagram person, Enneagram 4, if you know the Enneagram, the tragic romantic. So I not only began to look at NLP and physiological psychology and things like that, I also started to traipse around the planet doing meditation things, finding gurus, exploring ashram living, etc. Doing silent meditation retreats. So I had these 2 avenues kind of unfolding simultaneously, one professional and one more personal. That got me into the realm of conscious living And I do focus on women who are interested in raising conscious leadership to a higher level, as well as conscious living in daily life. And my focus these days, my passion after all these years, as I pick myself up after COVID, because I am not a business person in my brain. I am not a business person, have never been a business person. So you can imagine the kinds of challenges that have come my way because I run a business and have for years. So what I'm into now is very much developing a paradox mindset, the both and mindset, and utilizing NLP and mystic psychology and the Enneagram all together have created a process whereby people can start to develop that within their brain and within their unconscious mind by re-educating it. I love the work. It's fabulous. And the business side of it is always a challenge for
Well,
me.
I think that I love the whole NLP stuff because it, first of all, just makes me sound smart when I talk about anything with neurons in your brain. NLP and quantum and energy and the collective connectedness of it all, and the whole conversations about collaboration. You can't get deeper than that. I'm not sure I'm using quantum right yet, but I've been doing some reading on it. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to catch up with the rest of you smart people. But I also know that there's lots of applications for sales and marketing, like we do in our consulting, and lots of applications of how you can use it in social media and other ways. So super exciting stuff. And it actually leads to a really great another person to introduce, which is Ginny Trask. She is one of my favorite humans on the planet. She is a whole life alignment coach, and alignment is my word for the year. I'm trying to get all aspects of my life aligned. And she helps entrepreneurs make joyful profits by creating products and businesses that align with their natural gifts and purpose. Welcome, Ginny. Tell us all about you.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Jessica. What a cool group of people you've gathered here today. And thank you, Regina, for putting this all on and making this possible in the world, because I think people need these folks that are here right now today with me. So so I have owned or operated 5 multi-million-dollar companies. I'm on my way to number 6 right now, but it's very different. It's a very different journey. So I became passionate about helping people align their businesses with their natural gifts and their purpose, because I built a multi-million-dollar company that was very much not in alignment for me. I discovered after years and years of generating for almost $5 million a year in revenue and managing about double that in my company, that I had really built a company out of a wound and not out of a superpower, right? But I thought it was my superpower, because when we're kids, sometimes we get praised for developing coping mechanisms. So what I learned was that my ultimate people pleaser that I had built to navigate my difficult childhood had selected an industry for itself to thrive in. And actually my business was just absolutely reinforcing all of my wounding. And so as I began to heal that wounding, I began to do that business differently. And I began to realize that, hey, maybe other people are out there and they've been told that they have these talents or these gifts. And some of those gifts are really draining. So if you're out there and you're wondering if this is you, take an inventory of all the things that you do and the things that you're known for. And I just suggest that you breathe into how it feels to perform those tasks, right? Mm-hmm. And if anything that seems like wounding comes up or a challenge comes up, I mean, that's what I work with my clients to. Let's get you out of those places and let's get you into the things that are in your zone of genius, that are natural for you, that are effortless for you, and get you monetizing those things. So actually what's going on behind me is we have a mastermind happening right here, right now. We rented a house in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is a gorgeous place. And we're hosting a mastermind helping people to develop their products and services that are really aligned with their zone of genius and their natural gifts. So that's what I'm all about doing now, and helping people to do in the world is to align their products and their services with their natural gifts, their natural zone of genius, so that they can make joyful profit. Because I've made profit. It wasn't all joyful, and I want it to be joyful for everyone else.
Well, and that's the key. So if you're looking for a transformation in your life that is going to be bursting with joy, I will tell you, I see her smiling, glowing, happy face every week. And every week she seems happier and more fulfilled and more relaxed. And, you know, it's because she is traveling. It's because she's doing all the things she's in line with. And if you'd like that kind of life too, totally reach out to my dear, sweet, wonderful friend, Jenny. Just have one conversation with her and it may just change your life. Now, my young and gorgeous and amazing, looks like a beautiful, more intelligent version of Barbie, Colleen Biggs. She is just gorgeous. And she is 22 years of business. Don't believe a word of it. Can't be possible. She's a podcast host, an author, a franchisor, and a multi-business owner. But what I'm going to tell you is she is also this enthusiastic, optimistic, resilient rubber ball, because when things get thrown at her, she bounces right back out and brings all the brilliant, beautiful fun and colors and does better than survives. She thrives when things are thrown at her. And I love that about you, Colleen. So welcome.
Thank you, Jessica. I mean, we could just stop there. Joe, I thought she was going to introduce you. I was like, and then she said Barbie, and I was like, oh, I thought you meant Ken. What are you talking about? Well, I appreciate that. Jessica's been in my life for many, many years. She's watched business partner breakups that I've gone through. I've been through several major downfalls and issues that we've all had in our businesses. And it's about being resilient, right? So, and it's about learning and how you stand back up. And, you know, it's probably been longer. It's probably been about 25 years or so. I literally was going to die in corporate America. I thought, like, I'm so loyal. And then one day I woke up and was like, why do I feel like I'm in this box and I can't really be everything I'm supposed to be? And my husband had been an entrepreneur for several years. When I became an entrepreneur way back in 2018, I was like, come on now. Why did you leave me in corporate so long? This is amazing. Being able to do what you want to do and build anything. And that's what I had been doing and helping other people do for so many years. I was like, I want my turn. So we just went crazy. We've bought 2 businesses in the last 3 years. One of our businesses is turning 10 years old. We've decided to franchise that business. We're now franchisors, as well as I run an online community for women because there's 2 rules in business that I believe in. The number 1 rule is you've got to tell everybody about you. I'm big on visibility. If you're not telling everybody about you, no one knows you exist. And the second rule is to build long-lasting relationships, like genuine relationships. So I created a community, the Leap community, coming out of corporate America, selfishly because I didn't want to be alone, being the only one out there building a business. So that's what we do. We mastermind together. I do retreats annually. I run large women's conferences locally here in Arizona for small business owners that are females to come together to get the resources that they need throughout the year. I really love what I do. I just really enjoy growing businesses. I'm an activator, like Jessica said, and I'm an implementer. So I love to be the cheerleader, but most I love to allow women the opportunity to finally become financially independent and make any choice they want to make. And that's probably the biggest thing to me. And that's a whole deep-seated from childhood thing that I brought along. But aren't we all just kind of grown children trying to navigate and run the world around with all of these deep-seated issues from childhood? So I'm glad that I felt that way. And I've helped so many women become financially independent and grow their businesses to a point where they are making enough money to be able to live on their own or make the choices that they need to make to move or start another business or whatever it may be. It's just very joyful to watch that.
You know, if you're watching this live, and I hope that you are, you need to make sure you come back and save this video because you're going to want to watch it again. Let me just tell you. So Ragini and Ginny and Joe and their spiritual space of wowness, and then Ginny and Colleen in their community and growth and queen building of communities, and then Lowry, who ties it all together with a symphony and a song. I mean, we couldn't have orchestrated this any better, and it wasn't necessarily on purpose on my end, pulling all of these beautiful faces and together. I didn't even occurred to me how great they all work together. So with that, I'm going to introduce Joe, who is an expert in intuitive guide and master healer, supporting miraculous shifts and growth relationships. Heal and for growth of relationships and health and careers, and guiding women through difficult transitions. So he is the guide cheerleader for the girls, Colleen. See, so like all of these pieces are totally fitting together. What Joe, his gifts are something much like Ginny and Ragini. You really have to experience them, and of course attend one of Colleen's events and bask in as she shines on you as part of her community, and Ginny's as well. You just really need to get with all of these people, so take advantage of it. Welcome, Joe, and tell us a bit more about you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So I was actually sent home to die in 1999. 9 of the best doctors that worked with the condition that I had knew that I had less than a year to live. And they all had thought that I would actually commit suicide because the pain and the illness would get so bad. And when the Mayo Clinic, when they actually called up to have the consultation with me, they had asked the doctor if they could have 8 pieces of the cadaver, because they were absolutely shocked that I was still alive. And when the doctor says, well, he's here, you can ask him, they were floored that I was even cognizant. It was a horrible, horrible illness. And luckily for me, I, didn't play by the rules. I wasn't about to give up. And I kept on trying and trying. And serendipity led me to this amazing 35th generation Shaolin master, a Chinese healer. And when I went to him and his students after the second hour, I was no longer needing the oxygen that I had needed for almost 2 years. And after the third, I was completely healthy. And he looked at me and he says, you can do this. And I thought, what the heck are you talking about? I had no clue. But I trained with him for 5.5 years. And after 3.5, he had given me the master's in Chinese energy healing. And along the way, a buddy of mine is native, and he took me to a reservation in Wisconsin. I used to live in Minnesota. And when we had gotten out of the car, one of the elders had waved us over. And my buddy says, well, this is interesting. This has never happened. And so we went to the elder, and the elder told my friend, he says, you go work, leave your friend here. And that began about 3.5 years of me sitting with him once or twice a month. And he was an amazing empath and healer. And most of the time we would just sit. And when we sat together, as he would feel the energy and the plants, the trees, the animals, I would be able to feel the same thing. And also during that time is when the people that had passed away started to show up. And so when I call myself a master healer, it's because very, very often I can help eliminate very serious pains and illnesses, even when nothing else has worked in the past. I help people so they don't need to have surgeries. I help people that recover, from bad surgeries. In the coaching work, I've been doing the healing since 2001, the coaching since 2012. And as an intuitive, I can see the absolute best things about each and every single person around on earth. I can see the best things about you, your talents, the things you like, the things that you desire, the things you excel in. And I can see the blocks. I can see the subconscious and the other issues that hold you back from accomplishing the things that you really desire and really want in your life. And I specialize in working with women, but as soon as I say that, whenever I put it in print, the next 1 or 2 clients is always a man. And
well, I don't know, but I think he's seeing all my glowy wonderfulness. Are you seeing all my glowy wonderfulness? I feel naked. I'll be honest. He said he can see all these things. He can see the blocks. He can see the glowy wonderfulness.
Well, but that's one of the things for me is I do know healers that look at everybody and it's like, no. It's like, to me, this is a very, very sacred thing. I really believe that my gift comes from Creator. And I set the prayer and intention to only see what I need to see, hear what I need to hear, and feel what I need to feel, and then only say the words that the client needs to hear. And I don't do unsolicited because it's none of my business what your personal life is unless you ask me. And so whenever a healer comes up and says, "Oh, I got a message for you," or "I got a download for you," it's like, "Oh, cool." There's a trash can. I mean, very, very rarely do I accept unsolicited. And if I have something like that, I'll ask somebody, you mind if I take a look? But I don't go looking at that. And so, and for me, I always see the best of you. And so when you show up on my screen, when you show up in my life, I'm going to see the best 3 things about you, just like that. So when everybody is so worried about what does he see, I will have to dig to see the other. So you're safe.
Well, mine is larger than life, so I'm pretty sure there's no blocking it out. But I love that you don't use your telepathic powers without asking permission to read our minds. That's really good. That's very good policy. So I'm really loving that. I'm loving that you all are here. I have saved my special amazing. I think all of you people are wonderful if you haven't gathered that from your introductions. But Lowry is a special soul because together we have crafted a song, and it is a song that will impact many, many people to come. And I can't wait for it to be published. He writes catchy brand songs for speakers, coaches, authors, entrepreneurs to build trust, connection, and make them unforgettable. But you know what? I think that's a terrible introduction for you, Lowry, because it's not what you do at all. Inside of all of us, we have a story to tell, whether we've told it in a book or whether we tell it through our passion and our business and how we serve others. And Lowry puts that to a song, right? So your life has a song. Your book has a song hiding in it. Your program has a song. Colleen's community has a song to sing with it. Every time you walk on stage as a speaker, a song about you.
Oops, we have a little glitch there.
That following and that community. Did you lose me?
We did for just a second.
Every time you share a course or build a program or have a podcast, there should be a beautiful song that inspires others to follow you, to share it, to be a part of it, to feel connected to it. A song does all of those things in the most beautiful of ways. And my beautiful, amazing friend Lowry won't be doing this forever. So if you get the honor of building your brand song and your song with him, then good on you and lucky for you. Welcome, Lowry.
Wow, that was quite the introduction, Jessica. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Tell us about your music and all your talent, because I just, I'm one of your biggest fans.
Well, and the song we wrote is Freedom to Win, that Jessica and I wrote. And the first line of that song is, if you don't shine, how can they find you? And we may change it. We may change it to, I hope you shine so they can find you. We're still, the jury's still out on that. And what I love about, I think there's a couple of things that music itself, the ba-da-ba-ba-da from McDonald's is instantly recognizable around the world. So, that's something that we all know about music. Right away, ba-da-da-dum, it's like four notes, 5 notes. It's Beethoven's symphony. Just, ba 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 somewhere. Can't hit that note. It's too early. But music is instantly recognizable. So that's a really powerful thing. Music actually reaches the brain 100 times faster than visuals. So it's not the golden arches that will have that impact. It's the sound of that music that has more impact. And so, but it does something way more, and that is that it creates emotion, right? And music has this ability to create emotion. And when if you have a tagline for your business, then and it's really clear and succinct, and it kind of sums up something that you do. And especially if it's a song like Jessica's that is really of service, or a song like Joe's. Joe has a song too, and I'm one of the men that's worked with Joe, and I can attest to how fabulous he is. and Joe's song is called "Let the Real You Shine." Let the real you shine. And it happens when you take a tagline like that, or even if you don't have a tagline, and we create that together. As I guess both Jessica and Joe and I did that together. We found those lines. But when you put them to music, all of a sudden they just they have a depth. They have the music kind of sets the tone, right? It tells people who you are, and so you quickly build trust, relatability, credibility, authority, all of these kinds of things that you can do with your song. But I think what Jessica said that I think I find maybe the most meaningful, because I'm a songwriter. I've always written catchy songs. It's what I do. I love that aspect. But if there's one thing I love more, it's really helping people get to the heart of what they do, and really being able to kind of put that into what's your message, what's your legacy, what thing can you say to your clients that will be of service to them, that they will thank you for, and that they will want to have pop into their mind, right? And so these messages that come in these songs are catchy, and they're all that kind of thing, but they're also powerful, right? When Joe says "Let the real you shine," he's talking about the real you. He doesn't take any prisoners. When you work with Joe, and you work with Jessica, and she talks about the freedom to win. We're talking about really winning, right? So anyway, so that's kind of what I do, and I write the songs, and then we produce them in any genre, but kind of the genre that you feel like your clients would relate to. I mean, Joe said, "I want the drums louder." Like, the drums, okay, so the drums getting louder. All right, whatever. And when you go to his live event and he plays that song, everybody walks out of there with that song stuck in their head. So that's my goal, is to really just help people who are doing good things reach a wider audience, be super sticky, and have their messages really be literally unforgettable.
I love that.
What a crowd I brought you today, huh, Regina?
Oh my gosh. I just have to tell you, Lowry, I love what you're doing with the music, because those songs stay with us forever, right? I constantly have a song in my head, and I finally, sometimes it would drive me crazy, because it would come up from years past, and suddenly in my head I'm singing this song. So now I've turned it into a game with my husband, and I'll just give him a clue. Okay, the word love is in the song, or okay, this was from our childhood, or and he gets 3 guesses to figure out what the song is in my head. But it is amazing to me how long those stay with you. I mean, forever, those songs stay with you. Yesterday,
people, they talk all the time. I want to raise my vibration. I want to raise my vibration. Well, turn up the volume for starters. But then if you have that catchy tune,
you got it. Yeah. Oh, this is amazing.
My husband kissed me goodbye this morning, and I said, "Oh, do that to me one more time." And he started singing the song to me from way back in the day. I said, "Oh my God, a song and a kiss! I'm not going to let you leave for work this morning."
I love it.
It definitely invoked an emotion, Lowry.
It's so true.
Heard so much collaboration in your introductions. I heard so much collaboration. So I'd like to start us off with a question about what part of collaboration has played the biggest part in the growth of your own business and the businesses that you've helped. What part of collaboration? What does that look like for you as you have collaborated with others in growing your business? Colleen?
Well, thanks for that. And I think that's a great question, because I believe that your network is your net worth 1,000%. So to me, what has helped me the most in growing my business is the collaboration with other individuals that have either opened doors for me, built my social capital by pouring into me with knowledge, or opportunity. Those are the two biggest things for me in collaboration that have really helped me grow. I mean, I'm just thinking about Jessica here and the collaborations her and I have done together and worlds that she's opened my eyes to, talking about government contracts that I didn't even really know about. And I learned all of that through doing collaborations with Jessica. So I think that the empower part really has to do with the knowledge that others freely are willing to give us because they just want to. They want to serve and pour into us. So for me, those are the two biggest pieces.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Thank you. I'm going to do my best to not mess up your name. Rogani. Did I get
Perfect.
close? Oh, yay!
Perfect. I think for me, the collaboration my work would not exist without the reality of collaboration. I got to work with a lot of meditators when I was in India and also in Europe. And these wonderful people kept giving me their experience of these notions that I had in my mind that I thought were something that could be a valuable tool and a technique. And they would tell me, they would give me their feedback, that work, that didn't work. Well, here, consider this angle. Well, yeah, that's cool, but consider this one too. And some people would say, this is too intellectual. We need to have more body experiences, And so honestly, over the course of about 10 years, every student I ever had gave me some input and collaborated with me consciously, purposefully, because I asked for it, because I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I know I was driven towards something, but without the collaborative input of all these people I was blessed by them being from all over the globe, from
Yes.
many different countries, speaking different languages, etc. They were so valuable. I would not have a process now that I'm working with, this 6-step process, without all these people and their input. And after it was together, also getting their feedback as to how to improve it and continue growing the notions around it. And also, what did I have to do to expand who I was being when I was presenting it? Just so much beautiful, loving, kind, considerate input with people who were so dedicated to something that you can't see, but something you feel is coming through you. And that was really important for me because I wouldn't have been able to stay on that wavelength
Right.
if it hadn't been for all the people who were saying, this is your wavelength, that you belong on this wavelength, you must do it. So the collaboration was not just of ideas, but it was really a grounding and support from people, which for somebody who's kind of a hideout personality, I'm a Cancer and a Leo, so I'm always going back and forth. I want to be on stage, but don't you dare look at me, kind of a thing. So without collaboration, I'd still be sitting home knitting or something. So it's been the most fabulous and important thing forever for me, and the greatest teacher that I've had actually as well.
And how rich those collaborations were for you, coming from so many different cultures.
Yes.
I can imagine
Yeah,
that was tremendously enriching.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Like some people wanted music, Lowry. They were like, we got to dance, we got to move, we got to sing. And other people were like, so mental, and we have to do it. You have to step by step. I got to know every single little tweak of intellectual inquiry there. And others were just like, let's just sing and dance and come from the heart. It was wonderful help in waking me up to aligning myself to all the different levels of expression that we have as human beings and as souls and spirits. So
Lovely.
I wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you guys without the collaboration of all these people, which continues to this day.
It continues. Absolutely.
You.
Thank you, Ragini. Joe?
Well, one of the things that Colleen had said is that selfishly she did it because she didn't want to be alone. And I totally agree with that because I've been remote completely since 2012. And so in order to be able to see people and meet people, collaboration is one of the best. And for me, the joy, like Lowry was talking about, let the real you shine. When I get to see that in other people, whether it's them or their business or their relationships, that's what really, really brings me the joy. And so when we sit down in the networking meetings and such, and just, give a tidbit, give an insight, that really is some of the most fun for me. And it just is a joy to be able to connect. I believe that life is a team sport. And the more that we can actually connect with others and enjoy that, and if we take it out of collaboration, because a lot of people, it's like, I don't know how to collaborate, but you know how to be a team, you know how to be a cheerleader, you know how to be a listener, and a supporter, even a gopher. Those are all things that we need in this working world, and so that's how I like to see it.
What comes to my mind is, as you're saying that, is that if we genuinely care for and about others, then collaboration is easy, right?
Mhm.
It's just the extension of that care.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, and I have a comment on that. And I know we also want to hear from Ginny and Lowry, but I will say that's been how I have had my most successful collaboration partners, is finding goals that align with my goals. So if their goals, learning and listening and really caring enough to find out what their goals truly are, what
Yes.
they're trying to achieve, and finding ones that align similarly to mine, so that as a group we can then achieve them. And so for me, the alignment and the whole winning thing is a true story about me. It's not just the name of our song, the freedom will win, because I want that collaboration partner to win. I want the community that we're serving to win. I want a cause and a nonprofit to be a part of the equation and to also win. I want to see how many multiples of a win can we create from this collaboration. And for me, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, how many people can we bring along with us?
Mhm.
Miss Jenny, can we hear from you?
Absolutely. And guys, I am gonna actually have to pop off for a second because I have something else starting here in just a sec. But I'll take a second. I agree. I would not be here in this room without collaboration, because Jessica. By the way, in terms of collaboration, you picked the absolute best in Jessica, because she is the queen of collaboration. But we met through Speakers Playhouse, which is a collaboration between myself and Kimberly Crow. And the thing I will say about collaboration is I think it also gives, if you find the right collaborators, it gives you the chance to shine and let somebody else shine in their way, and really in the way that you don't, right? And to take on those and that I think is the best, the best kind of collaboration is where you kind of complement one another.
Yes.
I definitely do believe in collaboration while maintaining your autonomy. I teach this a lot in work partying and other things that I do. I don't partner with anybody. I don't have any other partners in my business, but I do collaborations with a lot of people, right? And I think that that's an important thing as you go along in business, to realize that, I like to maintain my autonomy, but still very much open to collaborations with ground rules set in place beforehand. So that's the way that I collaborate.
That is a very good point. And we won't have time to dive into that point too much today, but I think ground rules and values and all of that are so important that, that you're on the same page from the beginning. Otherwise, it can be a disaster. We don't want
thank you all for having me. I do have to pop off.
Thank you for being here, Jenny.
Bye.
Lowry, how about you? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, collaboration, I guess it works in a couple of different ways for me. I mean, certainly referrals from people, especially like coaches who are already working with people. And so they're already doing kind of deep work anyway, that lays the groundwork for writing their song and for having the kind of clarity that you want. So that kind of thing. So in terms of collaboration, sometimes I'll work with people that are doing branding and then they'll, want to have a song as part of that, or they'd be doing photography. And, so that kind of shared client kind of opportunity. But the real collaboration for me is writing the song with the person, because that's something that I couldn't do alone. It's something that it's really us finding the words together, finding the melody together. And so often the best lines in the song come from the client, who is in most cases not a songwriter. And yet, I know Jessica came up with that term, freedom to win. And it's like, that's pretty deep. What does that mean? Right? What does that mean? Well, freedom to win is like, a lot of people won't let themselves win. I couldn't do that. Winning is, even to some degree evil in some people's minds. So, giving yourself permission to see that differently and stuff like that. I mean, that came from a collaboration. And I love the synergy of that in songwriting. It's a fabulous thing. And I wrote that down, Joe, what you said, life is a team sport. And I mean, that's a wonderful idea. And the idea that it's not just the players, that you're also a cheerleader and a gopher and in the audience and stuff. I mean, that's a super cool way to, to see things. So,
I smell a song cooking in there. Do you smell it?
Can you hum a few bars, Lowry?
Yeah, I smell a song cooking.
I have a feeling that you have songs in your head even more than I have them in mine.
Yeah, I'm not happy. If I don't have a song on the go, I'm really grumpy. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah, it's collaboration is such a powerful tool for changing lives, changing the world, creating that ripple effect that it just goes on and on, right? None of us would be where we are today without collaboration. So,
For sure.
Well, the opposite of that is competition. So if you've got the mindset of competition, you're always out for the other person, and you're always constantly feeling like this lack mindset, this feeling of need all the time.
Right.
And I really feel that collaboration is always more of an abundant mindset, where there's to share a stage with someone is one of the best things you can do, because you're both there versus being there on your own.
Right.
Like check your ego at the door. I feel like individuals that are more competitive tend to lean on their ego more and have that lack mindset. And I believe everybody here has gotten to where they are and have been so successful because of the abundant mindset of collaboration.
Agreed. And I think that a lot of...
Can I add one comment on that? Yeah, I'd like to add a comment, because my work is very much about paradox and developing the both and mindset. So I love what you said, Colleen, and it's so totally true. And what I'm doing in my work is kind of helping people move past that polarization that happens inside of us between choosing one over the other, when it seems like life, if we go with the flow, offers us opportunity to explore the depths and the benefits and the weaknesses of both sides, both competing and collaborating. So one of my favorite phrases is competitive collaboration or collaborative competition, either way. So I want to throw that out, because I think that's the next mindset that we're aiming towards to help us balance our crazy world right now, which is so polarized. So how do we do with the polarization? And that's kind of what my work is about. But that was perfect, Colleen, because that's one of the main things in our work, is to teach that balance between the two.
And that's something, Ragini, that is something that in my growth spiritually in the last few years, at least the last 5 to 7 years, I've seen and learned about myself, is I do look at things like, it could be this, and maybe it also could be this, and how could it be both? And I've started to grow, I think, as a person in that state where I'm not looking at one or the other. I'm looking at, well, how can we include all the pieces of the puzzle? And what would that look like? And how will we achieve it? And, not if we can, but how we can, and with who do we need? to achieve these things. And that's been a really exciting way for me to live. I really have liked that.
Yeah, that's definitely what my work is about, is the how. How can we do? A lot of people are becoming aware of the need to be able to embrace both sides, but the question is how to do it. So that's what my focus has been on, and that's what my work is about. So I love sharing that with people because it opens up new doors, just like you're
Yes.
talking about, new avenues of perception, different angles of vision. It's very cool. Very cool stuff.
Well, and I'm in a morning book club, and we're doing some study on storytelling. And storytelling is one of those things where in our brains we can actually synchronize our minds on some level in a really high level quality story, because if that person doing the story can communicate to you in a way where you can see yourself as the person in the story, then they've done all this mind mapping study where our minds actually line up. We actually synchronize together when a story is done correctly. And so the art of storytelling is huge for collaborations, because then you can inspire whole communities to collaborate together. You can, inspire individuals to feel truly connected to you and to the common goal.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Very
And
nice.
songs do that too. Songs can invoke that.
Songs do that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Beautifully
This
said.
has been awesome.
Great. Well, we have come to the part of the show where we're actually going to shift gears and move into our wrap-up round. And so, Jessica, would you lead the round for us, and please call on each person to share their final thoughts about collaboration and their contact information. While you do that, I'll put their contact information out into the public comments. Speaking of which, it looks like we have a couple of comments. Let's see what those are at the moment. So we had a Ricky Smith who said,
My girl, Ricky.
Conversation, competition happens at the bottom, collaboration happens at the top. So, yeah, awesome. Thank you, Ricky. So yes, if you will do that for Jessica, and be sure to include yourself in that round, okay?
I got it. I'll go last, the guest first, and actually we're going to go gentlemen first because they've been so lovely. So we'll start with you, Joe, if you want to share with us your contact information and a final thought, and think about how you want to leave them feeling as we say goodbye today.
Love that.
Well, the leave them feeling, truly it is let the real you shine. You were born an amazing miracle. That's a truth. Somebody had seen the amazing miracle that you are, and it's my belief that we get to have that again. We get to live profoundly and be able to say, yes, I love my life. And so that's what I support people in. And the easiest way to reach me is actually joep360.com. It's my electric digital card. And in the next few days, I'll have some exciting videos on there. But my Calendly link is in there, and you can actually schedule a 30-minute discussion, and we can talk about you, talk about me, see if we're a good fit. So thank you.
Before I go to Lowry, I'm going to do our beautiful guest who had to step away. Her name is Ginny Trask. Rewatch this if you missed her. If you're just joining us at the tail end, make sure you save this video and rewatch it and share it. Ginny Trask was with us. She is a whole life alignment coach. And you know what? I would say Ginny would want you to feel joy in what you're doing and in your life. And if you're not feeling joy, seek some time with her or some of the other beautiful faces on this screen, because you deserve it. You earned joy. It comes automatically. You didn't have to do anything special to get it. And admin@ginnytrask.com is a great way to reach her. Lowry, how about you? Fill us with inspiration and information about how to contact you.
Okay, well, the best way to contact me is to go to, like Joe, to go to my website, which is songbrand.ca, because I'm in Canada, so the .ca is for Canada, songbrand.ca. And I think what I would just encourage people to do is to check out the idea of music, and the idea that they could actually use music as a way to connect more deeply with people and to really give their message more impact, to make it, to make it clearer and cleaner, and make it last with people, so that it really becomes a tool that's, yes, is of service to their brand, and it makes them, you know, recognizable instantly and all of those kinds of things. But something that the songs I really love to write are the ones that, like the ones that I wrote with Jessica and Joe, that are just of service to the world and that make the world a better place. And believe me, you can do both. So that's my thing. Yeah, sing, everybody, just sing.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Lowry. Ragini, would you like to share with us a final thought as we go out, and some best ways to contact you?
Sure. One of the best ways to contact me, I guess, is at raginimichaels.com, or you can schedule a 30-minute, free consult just to have a chat at connectwithragini.com. Ragini spelled Ragini. Also, you can look at the program that I have, which is where another place to search me out is called the Enneagram of Paradox.com. So you can see that as well. My comment on collaboration and competition, I just want to say that because I was against competition, spiritually speaking, I did not do well in business for a really long time because I couldn't fathom how to actually compete with people and still feel good about myself. So I polarized very much to collaboration. And what I'm doing now is learning how to compete, which I have to say is helping my business a great deal. I'm more willing to be out in the world and sort of present whoever you are. So if you're polarized to one of those or the other, take a look at the one that you don't want to do, because there's probably a wealth of gift and wisdom and knowledge in there for you. That's been my experience anyway.
Both, right? Do both. Do both.
Do both for sure.
All right, Colleen, give us some words of love, wisdom, closing out, contact you. Believe me, you want to go and attend one of Colleen's amazing events.
Here it comes. First of all, I just want to say thank you, because I feel super blessed to have been included in this at the last minute. And I'm just surrounded by amazing individuals. This is why I do what I do and have the freedom of being an entrepreneur, and why I said like a resounding yes to God and the universe for putting me here, because I do not take advantage of that. And I'm blessed to have met each one of you today that I have not cross paths with. Some of you I have, some of you I have not. So it's such a blessing today. But I really believe in the constant learning that we all have to do, and the journeys that we're on to discover ourselves and discover more. So if learning is beneath you, then leadership is surely beyond you. And so please remember that, everybody out there, drop your ego at the door and continue to learn from others, no matter who they are. I'm the visibility queen. So I have spent years building my visibility. So yes, you can go to my website. If you fancy websites, you can go to colleenbiggs.net. But I would say, go ahead and Google my name, Colleen Biggs. That's going to give you a resume of 6 pages of everything I've done and what my history looks like and the body of my work. And I would challenge everybody out there to Google yourself. And if you're not showing up all over Google of the body of your work and who you are and what you do, you need to work on that. So
good point.
That's a really good thing to leave them with today to ponder and think about.
And don't panic. Lots of AI out there that'll help you get that up to speed quickly. You don't have to do it all on your own. And that's what I'm going to leave everyone with, right? Think about the biggest things that have ever been done, right? The Colosseum that was built, the world's largest pizza in the Guinness Book of World Records. Think about the biggest things that have ever been achieved with song and how many people it took to achieve that. I had someone once tell me, oh, I can't collaborate or have too many collaboration partners. I can't keep track of them. I can't follow up with them. But really, we want to collaborate. Think bigger. Think in the millions. If we collaborated in the millions, just think what we can do. Think of Horton Hears a Who. Every Who had to say we were here, or else it was big trouble for those people in Whoville, right? And your voice matters too. So every gift, every talent that is out there matters, and we need you. So we all need to collaborate together so that we can do something really, really big.
I love it. Can I just say amen? There's not much more I can say, right? Thank you, Jessica. And thank you for being such a great co-host and inviting such an amazing panelist to the show today. This has been wonderful, everyone. I've truly enjoyed getting to meet each of you and hear the wisdom that you have to offer the world and how you're changing the world. So thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
You are welcome.
Thanks
And
so
with
much.
that, we're going to say goodbye to our audience. And we hope you'll join us again next time on Collaboration Conversations. Bye for now.